In today's video, we will be discussing East versus West updates given by Engin Terzi himself. Then Levan Saginashvili is set to compete this year on the right arm. This is confirmed news. East versus West 14 new match announcements and full card discussion. Khaled may be making a comeback to arm wrestling. Devon Larratt about Brian Shaw. How did the collaboration go? Devon Larratt versus Monster Michael Todd. Let's start. Engin announced a new super match for the July 6th East vs West event. Dave Chaffee versus Frank Lamparelli. I think against Big Dave, Frank Lamparelli is going to be in some big trouble because he does not have the hand control of Vitaly Laletin to prevent Dave from slipping and getting to the straps, and he does not have the arm power as we saw in the Monster Michael Todd match to finish Dave Chaffee inside the straps. That's why I think he legitimately does not have any chance to win even a single round in this match. And Dave Chaffee may have declined a lot if we compare to his 2014 or 15 shape, but I'm not really sure about the last 2 years. I know it was kind of common understanding. I also agreed to that. I also talked about that many times. Many pro arm wrestlers also said that Dave has really declined in the past couple of years. But if we compare the two Vitaly Laletin matches, in the first one Dave Chaffee won. In the second one, yes, he lost, but it was because he couldn't get to the straps. And once he got to the straps, he kind of defeated Vitaly even more easier than what he did in 2022. There can be a legit argument saying that, well, Vitaly didn't really care after he had already won that super match. I agree. But he was going all out after he initially allowed Dave to set his flop wrist press position. He couldn't do anything after that. And keep in mind that this Vitaly was much bigger, much more stronger, and much more confident with his side pressure because his shoulder was completely healed up, which wasn't the case in 2022. So you do the math, how much Dave has really declined in past 2 years. Engin mentioned that Zurab Tavbridze was asking for a super match at East vs West for almost 6 months now. But Engin declined, saying that you recently recovered from such a huge injury, which was an arm break at AMC tournament almost 1.5 years ago. So you should be having maybe 1 or 2 matches somewhere else before you get to the biggest stage in the world. And I don't know, maybe that was the reason why Zurab was saying, or maybe he was just trolling us when he said on social media that he's quitting arm wrestling. These are just speculations, but these things are over now. Engin has confirmed a super match for Zurab at East vs West. The match is going to be Zurab Tavbridze versus Petro Margarinth at July 6th event. Initially, Petro was supposed to arm wrestle Dadikian for the 105 kg title shot, but after consulting Dadikian and also Oleg Petrenko and also Petro Margarinth, all three agree that after such a dominant performance over Kidargali Ongarbayev, Oleg Petrenko deserves that 105 kg title shot much more than Petro Margarinth. That's why Petro is facing Zurab and Oleg Petrenko is getting that title shot at East vs West next event against David Dadikian. And only if Dadikian wins this match, in that case, he will be getting a title shot opportunity for the 115 kg title, which is vacant even now. And maybe if Oleg Petrenko wins that, I think he should also get that opportunity instead of Dadikian. Engin also confirmed that Levan Saginashvili will be competing this year. So King of the Table 13 will be happening in December in USA. This is good news for the North American arm wrestling fans, and Levan Saginashvili will be competing there. I'm sure we cannot wait for this match because it's always a pleasure and I'll say even a rare sight to see Levan competing, just because he has been so dominant and also because he was recovering from a wrist injury. So I can see only 2 candidates as of now. It's either Hermes Gasparini or someone who defeats Hermes Gasparini until this match happens. I don't see a third person who should be getting an opportunity for that title match. And I also don't think that defeating Denis Siplenkov should allow or qualify Hermes to get a title shot at Levan Saginashvili. I'm not saying he won't deserve that. In my mind, he already kind of deserves that. He can get a title match straight away. But if there is a qualification match, it should be either against Alex Kordecha, maybe a rematch against Gennady Kvikvinia if he has healed up, or maybe even Vitaly Laletin, but not Denis Siplenkov. Engin has announced almost all of the matches for the East vs West 14 August 10 Orlando, Florida card. He calls it North America Vengeance. John Brzezinski versus Leonidas Arcona. I wanted to see this match for a very long time. Jerry Cadret versus Alex Kordecha, a replacement for Vitaly Laletin. Michael Todd versus David Dadikian, just because Michael was able to defeat Lars Rohrbachen. Travis Bagent versus Kamil Jablonski. Are you kidding me? Who set this match up? Travis has precisely 0% chances of defeating Kamil Jablonski, and I'm assuming it is a left arm super match. If it is a right arm match, then maybe Travis can do something, but on the left, absolutely no. This is going to be a complete whitewash, complete clean sweep. I don't really put any money on arm wrestling matches now, but if there is some block left, maybe I'll put $500 or even $1,000 on Kamil winning 6-0 or 3-0 as per East versus West rules. Paulin versus Rustam Babayev, the rematch, the vengeance match. I think it's going to be awesome. Paul must have completely dropped the idea of top rolling Rustam. He's going to bang straight in a hook round 1, and it's going to be a really tough day for Rustam Babayev. Matt Mask versus Lars Rohrbachen, the revenge match. Once again, more vengeance. Craig Tullier versus Tom Holland. Doug Ehrlich versus Mindaugas Teresitis. Justin Bishop versus Yanis Omolins, more historic vengeance revenge match. Paul Talbot versus Vred Sadrakian. Corey West versus Tobias Sporong. Jonathan Breda versus Aymeric Predins, and more matches to be announced soon. Khaled Jashel was interviewed for a short time by Aussie arm wrestler, and he's back in Dubai as we have already seen, and he did say, kind of jokingly, in a funny way, in a cheerful manner, that he may be coming back to arm wrestling. Now this is good news. Some people, or I should say many people, don't like Khaled Jashel, but this guy is an absolute unit and he can be a problem for many people. So he's planning on competing in both MMA and arm wrestling. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out for him. Last time he competed in MMA, and only a few weeks after that he defeated Schoolboy 2. So maybe he knows the code, he knows how to crack it. Devon Larratt thanked everyone after getting 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. You guys have let me do so many things. Without this following, I wouldn't have been able to do so many things that I love to do. Thank you. Your following has given me more freedom in life. So how many YouTube channels have 1 million subscribers? I'm quite sure I'll miss a few, but if we can count Body Mania as an arm wrestling YouTube channel, they have more than 3 million subscribers, and only for last 3 months they have been uploading arm wrestling only videos. Before that, it was not an arm wrestling channel by any stretch of imagination. Schoolboy has over 2 million subscribers. Then if we can count Larry Wheels, he has similar amount of subscribers. Akimbo, I think it can be classified as a purely arm wrestling channel, although time to time he does upload some other channel as well. Sachin Biceps King from India, he doesn't really upload much videos. He got all of those 1.5 million subscribers because of a couple of viral shorts, but I believe it still counts in the numbers. And then we have Devon Larratt. Kirill Sarichev is also there if we count him as an arm wrestling channel. There are many arm wrestling channels, but very few arm wrestling specific, arm wrestling only YouTube channels. While we are talking, Devon Larratt is still with Brian Shaw, and he's really impressed by his potential. He said that arm wrestling world, there might be a problem. So Devon usually hypes up these upcoming arm wrestlers, sometimes way too much, because in 2020 when Larry was a complete beginner arm wrestling for less than a year, Devon was getting pinned by Larry on the left arm after getting tired after a few practice pulls, and he was like, maybe Larry is the next big deal, he's the next big thing. But we saw that Larry has not really impressed everyone that much. Yes, he has gotten really good, top 10 for sure in North America in his weight category 115, but not much beyond that. Devon believes that Brian Shaw is a smart guy. He's very healthy for someone who is 42 and has been a multiple times world champion in strongman competition, and he's surprisingly flexible for his size, and he still has a lot of gas left in the tank to apply it in arm wrestling. He reminds me of a more powerful raw version of Richard Lupkis. That's what I am feeling. It's like he's stronger than Richard Lupkis but unharnessed. He has a legitimate shot at becoming something special. Now Devon felt Richard Lupkis in 2011 for the last time, if I remember correctly. And if Devon is comparing that version of Richard, who almost defeated Denis Siplenkov, to Brian Shaw, then this may mean something special. But once again, we should not get carried away too much with what Devon Larratt is saying as of now. It's his job to hype up Brian Shaw, to popularize the sport of arm wrestling even more after getting attention from his followers.